I'm so mature, collected, and sensible, except when I get hit with rejection. To turn me down, well, that's just unethical. I'll turn into someone you're scared to know. But if you need my love, my clothes are off, I'm coming over to your place. And if you don't need my love, I didn't want your little bitch ass anyways. Yeah, I'm a busy woman. Yeah, I wouldn't let you come into my calendar any night. But if you want my kisses, I'll be your perfect missus till the day that one of us dies. I'm gonna
Say good morning.
Good morning.
Hey there, YouTube. It's me, Hens, and I'm back again with Amberlynn for part 2 of her live stream that she did for the public called Breaking My Silence, where she claims many things against Beck, but it's all just deflection against the allegations against herself because Amberlynn can never take accountability, even though that's what this whole thing was supposed to be about. Let's get into this mess. I hear it gets good, or at least better than it was. Let's make sure the sound is right and go.
Like private stuff. I mean, I guess I can I revert this? Hold on. You guys are gonna
She's way too excited to do this because she thinks she's going to score points against Beck in the eyes of the audience. It's really sick. She's always needing to be in control and to be seen as the good one, the right one, the best thing. Amberlynn can't handle any criticism, and any meaningful things that people say about her that are true, that she knows to be true, she really is. She only can take it as offensive. She can't take it and grow.
you guys are gonna laugh. Wait, hold on.
Are we gonna
Wait,
laugh?
which one is this? Hold on. Hold on.
You can tell from the casual language that she uses, like her saying, "You guys are gonna laugh." Why would we laugh about this serious situation that you claim is being mischaracterized? Why would we laugh about that?
I swear I'm like a boomer when it comes to this stuff over here. Okay. So here, well, see, I can't show you because then that shows like bank information, private bank information. Ooh, someone said we haven't learned a damn thing. Um, you have
We
that
haven't.
Beck has lied, and I know a lot of people like.
Amber, you literally caught yourself in a lie within this stream. Like, and you want us to side with you. You're sick. You're sick.
I
It's
can't
all
show the bank
projection.
information, but literally what I crossed out is me talking about, is your food cold or gross, or did you just order it? And then I was like, the wax melt thing in the living room is broken and spilling onto the bulb. Did you know that?
AKA, get up and fix it, Beck. That's the only reason she would send that to them. Like, why would you send an observation about something to your partner if you're both in the same apartment and spend most of your time together? Or if this was at the house, then you literally spend all your time together, except when Beck is with Eric and Ricky. So make that make any sense. It's just you ordering Beck around. She thinks that this proves anything, just like the text message about her requesting the bank balance. That's just her ordering Beck around to do things for her. Beck, tell me how much is in my bank account. Beck, how much have you spent this month? Beck, I better not see a rat cent missing.
Here. Ooh. So that's that. I'm sure someone can like
We can't
screenshot
even
it.
really read it. There we go. You can do that, but you don't have to sleep with them. That wax melt thing in the living room is broken and spilling onto the bulb. Did you know that? Yeah, why the hell would you, like, did you know that? That is so weird. Like, why? Why send this in a text message? Why not say that verbally to them? It's not like you're off on vacation and you like just randomly remembered because you were walking out the door and saw it. Be so for real. Huh? I didn't, but they want me to stay a night in a few weeks. And the living room is broken and spilling onto the bulb. I didn't. I think this is relating to something else. This I didn't is this. And then we are finally about to eat. So there was a conversation going on up here. Oh, and then you don't have to sleep with them. Amberlynn is saying this to somebody else.
So nothing special there.
It's weird.
And
Weird.
then the other one that I had crossed out, like this one's embarrassing. But if we wanted to be truthful here, I feel so embarrassed. Okay, wait, I'll just zoom in. Okay, I'll just read it. I just want you to know that I was
No, we're skipping that. If you're not going to show it, we're not going to listen to it. Sorry.
part is embarrassing, and this part I am going to be accountable. Here we go. Accountable Lynn coming in at you.
Why is she coming in at 33 minutes and 36 seconds? You're a little late, accountable Lynn. You're a little late. You were supposed to be here first. Don't be tardy to the party.
So, my hysterectomy. Okay, so wiping. Okay, I'm so embarrassed. Holy fuck. Wiping for me has always been extremely hard as a bigger.
You're not bigger. You're morbidly obese. And you've been morbidly obese your entire adult life. You've been obese since you were a child. That wasn't your fault, but the fact that you embraced it as an adult and that you've made it your whole identity and how you make money, that is your fault. That is actively your fault.
Girl,
Every moment
obviously.
of every day.
If you were bigger, my size, it's hard. When I was about to get my hysterectomy, that was a big thing for me that I was like, how am I going to be able to wipe myself because it's hard already? I'm not going to be able to.
You could have hired a nurse. You made bank back then. You could have. Especially after you came on bawling.
So this is something that I was like,
That's why I don't have sympathy for her because she always brings up the cancer. Like, why are you being quote unquote accountable? But of course, you had to make it about your cancer journey, about how it impacted you, about how it's embarrassing for you as the whole lead in. It's not starting from the apology and somehow incorporating other aspects. It's literally all about her. All about her.
at the time, I was like, Becky, like, are you going to be able
Beck.
to do this for me? Like, I'm really embarrassed about it. And they were like, of course. Like, I love you, blah, blah, blah. So when I was healing, I physically could not do it. Like, physically could not do it. And so Beck did it for me. And so did my mom.
Aww. I mean, that's why she was there. She was there for her daughter when she needed her. That's something Amberlynn can't understand. Actually being there when somebody needs to lean on you. Actually being a rock for somebody else outside of when it's serving your purposes.
Me and my mom would laugh about it though, because it was just like, okay, you did this for me as a baby, and now you're doing it for me as an adult.
Usually it's supposed to be the opposite way. But yeah, we
So
know Amber won't make it that long.
it was an embarrassing type deal. But so me not being able to wipe for it was like honestly a few weeks, and already something that was already so hard for me, I kind of lost the ability to.
I find it kind of ironic that she would tell Beck that they were taking too long in the bathroom, but obviously it would have taken her a long time in the bathroom if she has difficulty wiping. And is she talking about wiping the back or wiping both? Really? You can't wipe at all? So how does phone Shrek work? Are you like just sitting on a washer or a dryer? Or like I know yours are on the lower level or they're shorter, so maybe you can just like lean against them. Is that how you broke your other dryer? Is that how it happened, Amber?
to do it. I was literally shook. Because I remember when I was noticing like my healing was getting better, like everything was going great, like I was able to do all sorts of things again and all this stuff, and
Yes. Come through Wolverine, Lynn.
like the healing was just going perfect. And I
Yes.
was
You would swear that she has an adamantium skeleton. You would swear it if you didn't know better. I mean, she weighs as much as somebody who does.
like, holy fuck, wait a minute. I like have lost the ability to like do this. And obviously after time I was able to figure that out again, thankfully. But I would say Beck wiped me for I would say a good 9 months.
And that's false.
And
Because Beck said that they wiped her almost from the start. Almost from the start. And I bet you, like how Amberlynn is bringing up her mom being there for the cancer and how that's an alibi for how all of the relationship was, which doesn't make any sense because that was a very limited period of time. So you can't say that's how your entire relationship was. Obviously not. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so decayed at the end. It wouldn't be so on, on the decline that every time you're in a relationship, your partner checks out like a year in advance. You can't even say that, oh, this is representative of how our relationship dynamic was, because that's what she keeps saying. And that's not true.
and it's really embarrassing. And I know a lot of people are going to forever make this a meme, and that's okay. I also did very embarrassing things for Beck. Like that's what you do when you're in a 5-year relationship. Like that is what you are going to do. Period. You are going to
Amberlynn, see, this is what Amberlynn does. She thinks that she can tell everybody else how things are, how things work. You don't get to say and compare yourself. You can't do for anybody else. You can't, if your partner was literally missing an arm because something happened, some tragic accident happened at your house, you can't drive them to the ER. You can't do shit all for them. You wouldn't be able to ride in the ambulance with them either. You're a moron. You can't do anything for anybody, and yet you think that you're a fully fledged adult, to use your terminology.
help the person that you love, and um, you're going to be there for them. You're going to be there for them if you love them. And I'm truly embarrassed about it because moral of the story is it's my fault because of my size. Because if it wasn't for my size, like that would have never have had to happen.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry that I
And if it wasn't for your size, multiple partners say that you would have been physically violent with them. So take that for what it is.
would ever
That means that you either insinuated, said outright, or tried and failed. And we know, according to Alexis, if it's to be believed, that you slapped Wifey at least once. And the reaction that Wifey had was to shove you, and you couldn't get up because you are pathetic, because you can't help yourself, let alone somebody else. But you think that you can demand everything in the world from everybody else. That's the problem, is that you can't do for yourself, but you think everybody else should do for you.
anyone in that sort of situation to have to do
And
that.
that's not to say that there's not people who can't support themselves. Amberlynn can. She doesn't try. She doesn't want to try, and she doesn't think that she needs to at this point because she's been so supported, so coddled, so allowed to be the worst version of herself for all of her life. This is what it is. This is how you turn into a literal slob.
And I'm forever grateful that like they were there for me during like that fucking scary time. I'm not gonna lie. But then this goes down to people asking like, did Feline do that? No, because like I said, Beck did it for the like because eventually I was able to do it again. Um, and I want to make it very, very clear that that is the only thing they helped me with. Like back in 2019,
They literally cooked for you. They walked Twinkie. They drove you to the fucking drive-through. You were already spilling over onto the other side of the car of a average size sedan in the Destiny era. In the Crystal era, really, because she had already started leaning over, but then in the Destiny era, she was on the shift lever, and then in the Beck era, she was all over, like touching Beck with her shoulder because she can't fit in the car. And then now we see with Mama Lynn in her car, Amberlynn literally is still over on the other side. And it's a bigger car because cars are bigger now. Cars are bigger now.
they got me a bucket with some water twice to like help wash myself because that was during a hard time as well. But never ever once did I have them bathe me, shower me. That never happened. And if it did, I would tell you because I just told you the most embarrassing thing. Like if
Oh,
someone
by the way, I was wrong. Amberlynn weighs more than Wolverine from the X-Men with his metal skeleton. He only weighs 300 pounds and he's 5'3". So take that, Amber.
had like a gun to my head and said, "What is
That's
your
just, that fact blows my mind. That he's noted for being so fucking heavy and for his small stature, but then he's 250 pounds shy of Amber's weight currently. I cannot, and at the same height that she claims to be. That's crazy. Crazy.
biggest secret ever has really been that?" I had
It's
like
wild.
I had a partner who wiped me for 9 months. Um, that is embarrassing, and I see a lot of people making fun of me. I knew that was
Ma'am, you don't get to complain.
good, and that's
You
I
don't get
guess
to
that's
complain about people making fun of you after you denied that Beck ever wiped you, one, for years, and then two, you're lying about for the length because we know that it was longer than 9 months or 7 months or whatever she says. Like, be so for real. They were together for like 4 or 5 years. Be for real.
fine. Okay.
That's fine.
Um. Okay. So another thing,
Hmm.
Beck said how I always went through their phone and how I would never let them go through mine. Half of that is true. Half of that is not true. So something I
What? That's two statements. So that means one statement is true and one is not true. Like, what? Those are mutually exclusive kind of statements.
was really bad with due to like trust issues, but it doesn't even matter otherwise. We're not going to even just erase that I just said that. Um, I would go through Beck's phone. Yes. And I also did it to past partners as well. Um,
And we know that she doesn't let people go into her phone. We've seen her be defensive and hide her phone or turn it over, things like that, lock the screen. We've seen it. She's always scrapping at her partner's phones or whatever's in their hands, really.
not a good look.
It's literally giving single child that's a bully, but she's not an only child.
Very not a good look. I was always I'm not even going to say why. It doesn't matter why. I did it and I'm sorry. That's controlling. That's wrong. That's
This is so fake because she has to keep stopping herself from saying the justification because she already let it slip out twice. And then she's like stopping herself and then saying a sentence that would be appeasing and then continuing to pause. It's stupid.
it's wrong.
Like
Point blank period. I shouldn't
why
not
even
have
bother
ever
doing
done
this?
that. Like there's no reason. Like, there's no reason. But the part about Beck saying they were never allowed to go through my phone, they were never allowed to read my journals is a lie.
Hmm.
I have proof. A very old journal. And if you guys know, you guys know. If you watch my vlogs, you guys know I've showed this like a million times before. So this journal is from June 18th, 2021 to December 9th, 2021. And I have showed this in multiple vlogs. So this is not
What are you covering? There's something underneath her hand.
December 9th, 2021. And I have
Watch.
showed this
There's ink underneath her hand. There's something under here. What are you covering? There's literally something underneath her hand, and she's making sure to cover it.
in multiple vlogs. So this isn't like a fake story time, nothing like that. I saved the spot and everything.
Huh. This is giving. I keep all of my stories straight in this book. You will never catch me out because I've already crafted my lies.
On July 24th of 2021, I wrote this. I think I'm done reading this journal to Becky. This shit has gotten kind of deep, and I want to go even deeper. There are some things I don't want Becky knowing, mainly because I'm embarrassed. I want to be able to write in this journal as if it's absolutely no one is going to read it.
So you want to actively hide things from your partner that you otherwise would tell them? That's weird. Just because you're embarrassed, because you're insecure. You should be able to trust your partner. And I doubt that Beck was actively teasing you and diminishing you because of the insecurities that you have that are real or even that are like possible. You make up stuff all the time.
This is the best way to write. I haven't told Becky she will no longer be reading this journal, but I should probably tell her soon. I just kind of feel bad about it, even though I shouldn't. So obviously,
What does she think this proves? This means that you actively talk to yourself. This is creepy.
I don't want to show you guys what else it says in here. So I took a screenshot of the thing,
Passage
of the actual page, but I took out everything
of
else.
the Lynn Bible. This is definitely the Lynn Bible.
So again, July 24th, 2021. And this is when I started meeting Feline. So I was like writing things about Feline, and I was like, this is awkward. Why would I let Becky read this? Or like, Amberlynn, if you're going to come on here, we need some sort of proof. So I'm trying to give you, like, obviously, I can't show proof of everything under the sun. Like, that's not possible.
But you're very choosy about things that you're showing proof of. It's all proof that Beck is a liar or that you think that they are. It's not proof that actually what you're saying is true. That's the problem. That is my problem right now, is that you're not actively proving your story. You're just trying to disprove their little details of their story. Really, it seems like you have no evidence
But the things that I can give proof, like, I'm trying.
because, like the ATM card, so you both had ATM cards, then why did they have to give you the ATM card back? And why did you assume control of their account? Hmm? That's fucking creepy and weird. It's really, really. I've never heard of that. Like, of a couple getting together that's not married. They're not even planning to get married when they get together. And yet, you take control of the account. You have the primary deposits into the account. And then apparently you create a private account, a private separate account within the profile that they can't even access. It's very weird. And then you take control of the entire profile. It's weird. Weird.
My very
And then it's a pattern of getting her partners to put them on their banking accounts as soon as they get together. And then that was even before she was making money, really, because she did it with Destiny. So that's weird and controlling and manipulative. And she thinks that she's normal. Not at all exclusive, not at all a manipulator. She thinks it's just a happenstance that everybody thinks this.
artist. Someone said your handwriting sucks. Sorry. Um, so the red is just me blocking out stuff that, you guys, that's embarrassing. I can't show the whole journal entry. Like, it's a journal for a reason. This is just like the entry from that I'm just trying to show you
Yeah,
from
we might have a sense of what you're trying to craft as a plot line if you show us everything. We might get the context of what you're saying. Hmm, you don't want that.
July 24th. Like, what am I supposed, like, literally that is the, like, I don't know what to tell.
She really expected people on the live stream to pause the screen and look at that text and then resume. What kind of proof is this? If you really wanted to, you could post all of these things that you have as evidence in a post after or before this. You actually should have done it before. You should have been like, here's the evidence and I'm going to discuss.
Like, I've showed this so many times, I can't even
You
count.
had so many
Hold
options.
on. You guys are making me.
But she's, as much as she likes to pretend that she's a writer, that she's informed, that she's a thoughtful person, she's very much not an organized thinker, not organized in her work. She doesn't want any amount of effort in her life. None.
Oh my god. Okay. Do you guys just want to see the whole page? Like, I'm so embarrassed right now. I'm literally talking shit about myself in this. Um, yes. Like, if this was back and they were like, I have a journal entry to prove that Amberlynn did this, people would be eating that up, like, literally.
But that's the thing, is that you're not proving anything. You're not proving anything.
Okay. So, I was talking about Feline, obviously. I said, I'm seriously so confused about my emotions right now. I like Feline more than I thought I would. So when she randomly said she wants to be single because she can't commit, my heart dropped. This is some tea. I just don't understand because everything we do is like we're in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship
Amber, she can't commit to you. She can't commit to
either, but
you.
I also don't want her talking to anyone else. I'm pretty sure she feels the same way. I'm also confused because it seems
Projection.
like she wants to meet me sooner than I had expected. I'm just not ready for that. There's so many things I need to change and improve before we can even plan it. I don't feel like the person I am, if that makes sense.
It's ironic that she went into the relationship saying, there's so many things that I need to improve on. And that's how she left the relationship too. There's so many things that we both have to improve on ourselves, but we might be able to reconcile it one day.
I feel like I'm worthy of love and attraction and sex, but then I remember who I really am and what I
Ew.
look like, and I lose all of that. I'm fat, I feel gross, I'm unhealthy, and the list goes on.
The problem is that you're unhygienic. It's not that you're unhealthy necessarily, even, but it's that you're unhygienic. Nobody wants to be around somebody that stinks like you. Sorry. Maybe develop an olfactory bulb?
This is embarrassing. No one is gonna want me the way I am now. God. So I need to change.
And here we are.
I fucked up by being in such a rut for so many years of my life. I regret it all so
That's
much.
why it's not
I hate
real.
that I cannot
We're
experience
still
the shit I
here.
want to experience, all because of my weight. It has literally ruined everything. And then in my next paragraph, that is when I wrote about here it is.
You know what's funny is that I wasn't even reacting back then, and she's still doing the same exact shit. The same exact shit.
The full shabam.
The full shabam, except for the page is not all the way on there. Oh, I think
So
I'm done reading this to Beck.
that was just me trying to prove to you guys that like Beck
The
got
fact that you read, you can say that you're reading anything. I'm sure you interpolated passages all the time. I'm so sure. And everybody knows that you do. Like, you just can't help yourself but to add details when they're not necessary. You love it. You love it.
to read my stuff.
You're a
Beck got to
storyteller.
read
She is a storyteller, y'all. That's why she became a YouTuber.
my full-fledged journal entries, even though they are telling everyone that they didn't. Like, does that make sense?
You reading, you said, I'm done reading the passage. You said, I'm done reading the journal to Beck. You didn't say, Beck is done getting to read. That's different. That's totally different. And the look in her eyes says that she knows it's different. She's just trying to act like, you guys just have to believe me. But she doesn't believe herself.
Like, Beck
Wait, is this actually sped up or not? No. No. No wonder it was so slow. God dang.
is telling people that they had no control over the bank, but I'm the one who didn't. I'm the one.
False. You can literally go to an ATM. Does she think we're all dumb? Actually, I think she does. She thinks everybody is as dumb as she thinks in any given situation. And her estimation changes. That's why sometimes she'll compliment her audience about how intelligent and astute they are at how they can recognize her behaviors, even before she can. But then other times, You guys just don't even understand. You guys have no basis for making those judgments. I love how it just vacillates back and forth.
to look at the bank. Like, how much money do we have in the bank? I never would know.
I never would know, except if I went to the ATM with my card, because my card could access both accounts, whereas Beck's card could only access one account.
So it's like they're allowed to like lie about stuff because the tea is piping. The tea is hot. Um, like yes, I would also let Beck look for my through my phone, but I don't think they ever actually asked. Maybe like once, and I was just like,
I don't think they asked. Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. I'm sure every time you demanded to storm through their phone, they said, well, you don't let me see your phone. I'm sure. I'm sure at least once out of the many times that you've admitted to, they said that to you. Because that's a natural response to somebody demanding access to something that's not theirs.
like sure, like very much that. Um, okay, so we got that out of the way. Okay, let me cross this off in my notes.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I thought I had already sped her up. I didn't realize that was at normal speed. No wonder it was so slow. I'll have to speed it up in the post, mm, but then I'll be faster too. So I'll cut it and then I'll be slower in the second half, I guess.
Um, so one of the hardest thing, like, okay, so after we broke up, um, we had mutual friends, obviously, and
No, you had friends that you tried to retain afterward who were associated with Beck. You only knew them because of Beck. You didn't know them because you moved to Kentucky. You didn't know them because of Destiny. You knew them because of Beck. So own up to that and own up to the fact that you tried to blackmail or at least exert your influence over them to exclude Beck and to talk about them behind their back with Wifey. Because everybody has already said that that's the case. You're the only one who hasn't admitted it.
um, I found out a lot of things that I did not know about actually. That made sense, and it like added up for me, obviously. But behind my back, like Beck admitted to using me for money, and that is the only reason why they were with me.
When?
And
Do you have the
oh, this
receipt?
part, like,
This
really hit me.
part.
Beck literally called me a fat fucking bitch, and that
You are a fat fucking bitch. You are a fat fucking bitch, Amber. You are a bitch many days of the week, and you are fat every day of the week, and you're fucking annoying. So, you're a fat fucking bitch. Yes.
genuinely shocked me. And obviously, you guys probably know who the mutual friends are. Let's be real. Um, but like Beck
Plus,
would
I don't believe half of what Eric and Ricky say because Eric is a shady queen who likes to stoke drama and be at the center of it, but hide his hands. Be so fucking for real. We saw it on camera from Amberlynn's perspective all the time. And then we saw it when he had his own channel. So be fucking for real. They are all shady. And then Beck was the only one that wasn't actively working against everybody else.
like during an argument
Because it seems like they all were gossiping behind Beck's back because even Wifey got incorporated into it.
would say kind of harsh things, obviously, but never like vulgar. But like after, sorry, I have so much on my brain trying to read the chat and then trying to read this. Um, Dan, no, I'm trying very hard to respect pronouns. It's very important. Um, so when I heard like using me for money, like low key, it felt like it made sense to me
Hmm.
because I would
Because then you could justify why your treatment of them was okay. Well, if they're using me for money, then I'll treat them like an employee. Yeah, that's your mentality. Backwards justifying what you did. It's not the truth, Amber. And you know, at the end of the day, if they were doing it for money, they would have left you when you got cancer. Because it wasn't worth it to stick through that bullshit and then have you use them through the breakup era and then kick them to the curb so that you and your new wifey could enjoy all of the proceeds.
Tell them, like, get a job. Like,
Go fuck
I could tell
yourself.
you're bored because once we moved from the home where we had roommates and we were living with friends, like obviously it was different.
You need to get a job, you bored loser.
Like we always had something to do. But when it was just me and Beck, like I was like, get a job. Like, are you joking? And so they tried Uber, but they only did it like twice.
It was either Zachary Michael or Salty Crab. They already provided the evidence that that was false because Amberlynn regularly would say that Beck was out delivering, or they had to go out and deliver, or they had to go do some door dashing, stuff like that all the time, or they couldn't be somewhere with her because of that. All sorts of shit. So, no, Amber, you're a fucking law.
Like, what's the word? What word am I looking for? I always try to be super supportive with their passions. Like, I let
Amberlynn,
them all
if you were ever going to be successful as an abuser and a manipulator and not have everybody hate your fucking guts, you should have never become a public persona.
kinds of like this art stuff so they could start an art business. And I really wanted to help them with that. And like,
And you sucked the life out of them. Just like I said last video, you sucked every bit of energy out of them to the point that they lost any bit of creative spark that they might have had. And we can see it now because they illustrate every video pretty much. So we can see they have a lot of creativity to share, and it was you stifling it. You were taking every bit of good that they could have put out. And hey, maybe part of it was toxic participation on their end towards the end, but at the same time, they've gotten out and healed from it and they're growing. You're the one who's in the same position that you were however many years ago it was. It was like 4 years ago. Get over it and grow up. Get a fucking job.
anything like that you put your mind to. And they just didn't. I'm behind on a lot of things. Um, okay.
We're going to speed her up to 1.5. I've not reacted to her at 1.5 in forever.
Do you feel like Beck is still abusing you? I don't feel abused by them, and I don't. No, no.
Hmm. Notice she didn't say they never did. She didn't say they never abused her, which means now I don't. I'm free. They're not controlling my bank anymore. I mean, their bank account that I took from them.
I think that this whole situation is like out of hand.
Amberlynn is definitely Orphan. You know, the movie Orphan? That's Amber.
And I know a lot of people are telling me, Amberlynn, like people are just committed to not believing you and committed to just being like, Beck is all good, Amberlynn is all bad. And that's fair. And that's 100% fair. I understand like there is amusement, there is entertainment in this, and I can't get mad at anybody. I mean, to some people, I'm not real. I'm not human. I'm not any of that. Like some people can't.
No, Amber, you're the one who acts like you're not real. You literally said, I think in this stream or maybe in a different video recently, that you feel like you're not even here right now. But that was a signal. Oh, I'm disassociating.
Understand that this is like super
Fake
heavy and hard for
ass.
me, and they're never gonna be able to understand that. And it's like, you know what, fine. Like, um, let's see. Um, did you ban Beck from watching reaction channels? No, because here's another thing that I thought was
No, I just told them they shouldn't.
really weird. Um, Beck literally doxed Zachary Michael's like full name in one of my YouTube videos, and there's literally a clip of it. And I was like so confused because I didn't even know.
Um, Amber, you upload all of your videos. Are you now claiming that Beck edited your videos for you too? Because that's even more unpaid work. And video editing for a YouTuber your size, they could charge. Don't even play. So you uploaded the clip knowing that Beck did that because you wanted to express that and put it out to your audience that Zachary Michael's whole name is blah, blah, blah. That's you, not Beck.
Zach's full name. Like, how did Beck know it over me? I was beyond confused.
Amber, you uploaded it to the internet. That's you. And why are you wearing, and why are those Telfar earrings? Are you back with wifey? Are you?
So that's obviously something else that isn't true. I would subscribe if I could afford. I love you so much. Oh, Danielle, it's okay. I love you too. Um, Proof they heckle people struggling facing addiction. Beck wiped and bathed you for 4 years. Of course, you became a burden. Ashley, that is not true. Beck
Yes,
never
actually, that is a burden, and it is true. You are a burden. You are a burden to other people because you cannot take care of yourself. You cannot assist other people. And when you could, like carrying groceries to the house from the car, you choose not to because that's you not being interested in anything that's not related back to you. And Beck confirmed that on the podcast, just like I've been saying.
ever bathed me and only wiped me for about 9 months, which is a long time and way too long for
Oh,
any
you're right. Beck never bathed you technically. They just brought you the sponge with the hot water and came and took the water away when you were bedbound and couldn't get up. You didn't really have an option. You bathed yourself in a mattress. You bathed yourself on a mattress. So we know that that shit stank.
anyone to do, like especially like an adult. Like I feel absolutely awful for that, but that's not true.
No, you don't.
What do you believe you actually did wrong, Sage? That
You already said that you expect a partner who's been together that long to do that by definition. You said that. You already said that. So in your mind, anything less is a bad partner,
a good question.
even through wiping up your free bleeding all over the place. Yeah.
I was controlling and I was manipulative when I wanted to get my way in the sense of like wanting them to just always be with me. And um, I would get angry with them when they would be gone for too long because I would feel sad and lonely and all these
Too long, aka too long in my head, too long according to what I allow, too long for what I'm comfortable with.
stupid fucking annoying feelings that like
They're my employee. They better watch that clock.
genuinely when it comes down to it like don't matter. Like when it comes down to it, it literally does not matter. Um, I was harsh with them. I would, and it's so crazy to like at the time like I didn't even view it that way, but like
It
a good
doesn't matter how you viewed it. You, your perception is warped. Your mind is warped because you have no sense of normal. You have no sense of average. You have no sense of what is expected of everybody else. So your expectations don't matter. Your expectations and your idea of accomplishments, they are irrelevant.
example of that is like when they were trying on the sorry my brain's working so fast and like the words are not coming out. What is it called? A fanny pack. And I was like, well, you could just lose some weight. You know, saying something like that is like talking down to somebody. And it's like at the time I didn't even realize it. And like I feel so awful for that. And I'm just like genuinely so sorry that like I ever put them in like a situation or a place to like ever feel bad about themselves. Like it's weird because as much as like I did things like that and said things like that, I also very much like want to hype up my partner always like and I think that's why like I wanted them to do the art thing so much and like I would always show their art because like I also wanted to like in the
No,
same
Amberlynn, you want the prestige of having a partner that does those things. You want to have a trophy equal to how you view yourself. That's how you think. You're like a man who wants a trophy wife because he thinks he's an alpha male. That's you.
same breath like hype them up and make them feel good about themselves because duh, who doesn't want to do that? Like of course you want to make your partner feel good, but like there was that other side of me where it's like I would talk down to them and like I wouldn't even realize it. And it's like I'm just so sorry for that because then it makes me question like how many other times I do that and I didn't even realize it. Like that's sad and I'm just very sorry for that. Um then why did you have to buy the engagement rings? I don't understand what that's asking exactly. Um
Yes, you do. You understand exactly what they're saying because you bought the engagement rings and told Beck to propose to you. You didn't tell them how, but you said to propose. You said, "You better give this to me."
why did you guys share a bank account? I know tons of married couples who don't. I couldn't imagine sharing a bank account with a girlfriend. It's so weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was the last time I ever did it.
It's so weird that I made both of my back to back partners, Destiny and Beck, do that. It's so weird. It's almost like I probably tried to do that with Crystal too, because I didn't have a bank account in my name when I moved in with Destiny. Interesting.
Never gonna do it again and never will do it again.
Intriguing.
No thanks. But why I don't remember why we did it. It's just I remember me and Destiny also shared a bank account, so it felt normal to me because like the first time ever like receiving money from
No, Amber, you did it as soon as you moved in, pretty much. It was within a month. It was very fast. And Destiny was only 19. Amber was like 25 or 24. Like, that's not okay. She knew exactly what she was doing because she took advantage of Crystal's entire family and she was going to take advantage of this relative child as well. And then she also took advantage of, because, like it or not, 19 is an adolescent. She took advantage of Destiny and her naivete regarding anything financial. And then after that, Beck, because Beck was already more pliable and willing to take care of Amber, she took advantage. She took advantage of the situation to take over somebody else's bank account and keep it.
like as an income to me, and we both had an income and we were putting our money together. So then when I first got with Beck, they had an income, I had an income, and I thought that was normal for like couples to get a bank account together. So I literally just went on theirs, and I didn't really think anything of it. And like I said, I'm just all about like sharing the money. I've never
Bitch,
been someone
please.
that's like my money, my money.
Because you never had money. So, of course, you were like, hey, our money is our money. Your money is my money. Our money. Ours. Just like when she says we, but you know that all of the effort is coming from her partner. She did that all through the Destiny era. Oh, we're packing up the apartment because we have to move in with Destiny's mom. Except Destiny was the one packing everything.
Money. Like that's never been me, or I would have gotten my own bank account and I would have stayed on my own bank account. Do you get what I'm
You
saying?
didn't
Like that's
have
why it's just like
money.
so weird to
You had no money.
me because it was a joint bank account. We both had our own debit cards. Like I had nothing. I had no private spot for my money. I didn't even know how much money I had half the time. Like I had to ask them.
See, she takes pride in her ignorance. She thinks she's actually made a good point that she, as a 20 something year old, almost 30-year-old, was just willy nilly giving her money to all of her partners, sharing communally. I don't believe that because Amberlynn is a selfish person. She wants what she wants, and what she wants is all of the money.
To send me screenshots of the bank statement. Like, ugh, yeah. Um,
Ugh.
did it say come wipe me? Huh? 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 Screenshot and edit out bank info. I did show it. Um,
They're telling you to fucking show it again unless you can't bring it up because you don't know where it is because it's just a random thing that you've maybe found and try to use as a piece of evidence.
this keeping score shit is very immature.
It
So,
is.
like,
It
I think it's
is.
only fair, like, when you're in a relationship to
Especially because she wrote it down. She wrote it down, keeping score and thinking to herself, I'm going to use this one day.
like you can be accountable for things and also share your side of the story. Like that goes for both of us. Like why is it only okay for them
Wolf.
to share their story, but I'm not able
Wolf.
to? And a lot of people are like, it's because you're
Why?
an abuser. Beck is like a victim. Remember when I shared my story about Casey, and I still stand by every single thing I said about Casey. I still stand by that.
Oh, no. Ah. I didn't get this far from Mr. Snowflake or Salty Crab. Oh no.
No one believed me. No one believed a single thing I said.
Because you're a fucking liar. And then on top of that, you parrot people in every situation. That's what makes it false. You you literally said his coming out story as your own, but then changed it with different partners and act like nobody should pay attention to that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That has been one of the most torturous things that I've ever gone through in my actual lifetime, and no one believed a single thing that I said.
Rain and petal. Eavesdrop. I used the wrong word.
I am always, in the eyes of everyone else, the abuser to everybody. I never have my
I
own
mean,
story.
stop abusing people and they won't think you're an abuser. How about that? How about that? How about that? That you can change your behavior and people will respect you more. If you act in a respectable manner, people might respect you.
At once, like I'm always the bad guy, and It's a lot for one fucking person to take on, especially like when I know my truth and I know what I'm saying is real. Like it has been torturous, literally torturous. I understand that you want to prove yourself, but these people will never be persuaded. Stop giving them ammunition. You are dealing with incompetence. Yeah. Oh, yo mama, hi.
These Am babies. Oh my gosh. And then I did see that Yo Mama was popping up now and then. That's funny.
Even though you were in
He just I think he likes to just stoke their ego and watch them go off. I don't think he actually likes them.
here. Hello, hello.
Because they get such a high of him coming in.
Amberlynn, let it go after this. People want to believe the worst and they are called trolls for a reason. They're the worst of the worst. This is challenging to watch. No one should have to do this. Thank you
It's
for the super chat. And yeah,
challenging to watch.
it's hectic. That's for
It's giving fragility. It's giving unable to deal with adversity, just like Zachary Michael said. It's giving unable to cope. It's giving I need therapy. It's giving I'm having a breakdown.
the lack of a better word. You're asking for personal questions. You had told us you had an IEP. What was your disability? You have traits of autism with trauma and narcissism. What's an IEP? Um, hello, Dixon. Shout out to you from Angelina. Hello, hello. You say genuinely too much. Yeah. Sorry. Do you feel like people are holding you to unrealistic standards? If Beck didn't speak out about anything in the moment, how can you be expected to know everything? You're only human. Yeah.
What? No. No. Ugh. These people, I swear to God, half of them must be just like her. Because if you think like that, that means you're an unconscionable person. You don't think about anybody else in any other moment other than when it serves you. The idea of being a thoughtful person in advance never once occurs to you. Stopping yourself and saying, "Oh, I'm really going to be pushy in the situation. Should I consider, do I want to do that? Or do I want to be conscious of the other person's feelings, listen to what they have to say, and take it into consideration? Or do I just want to stampede over them at like a 500-pound baby rhino?"
That's very true. And yes, I absolutely am held to unrealistic standards. Like it is
You don't get to decide what standard is reasonable.
it's
Sorry.
honestly insane to me. And I'm just gonna use this as an example because it's like the first thing that I can
Sorry.
think of is like Zachary Michael for an instance. Like I have been more free from watching reaction channels. Like Jordy is like never on my list to watch. Like the only okay, what I'm trying to say is the only reaction channel that I watch that I don't like I like Elizabeth, so that doesn't count. Yo Mama, I like him, so that doesn't count. So those two do not count. Those I will always watch them. But when it comes to like Jordy and like all of them, their little cluster of people, Zachary Michael is the only one
Their
that I
little
sometimes watch
cluster.
still. And it's hard because it's
Little.
like even he has this unrealistic view of how I should be as a person, as a girlfriend, as a daughter, as a YouTuber, no matter what I'm showing in
Zachary Michael prefers the pronouns they, them, not he, him. And you know that.
my videos. It's never good enough for him. And this is his job. So it's like if your job is like to react to someone that's actually interesting to you because obviously I'm not it. I'm not up to your standards of anything. Like nothing is ever good enough. Like I talk about my
Amberlynn, some people don't want to just let your abuse and manipulation slip by and keep getting monetized. This is how you got to be this big on a channel that doesn't provide any content. You literally sit on your shelf ass, eat, make build puzzles or Legos, and then complain about how everybody doesn't like you. That's all you do all day.
BPD because I want to hold myself accountable and I want to grow and learn and share and heal. Not good enough. I show my passions like Lego, this and that. Not good enough. Like no matter what I do, no matter what I show, like I'm never giving up this whole weight loss thing. But
You
like
have the passions of a 10-year-old.
I watched Zachary's video from today and I'm talking about Weight Watchers and he's just rolling his eyes the whole time. It's just like I'm never gonna be like this perfect person. Like I'm looked at like I'm supposed to be perfect and I'm not going to be. I'm genuinely
I'm
not.
not
Like
going
I
to
am
be.
I'm yeah. Do you feel like
Uh,
people are holding you to an unrealistic standard? Yes, yes. Forever, yes. Like what
yes,
do you want me to
queen.
do? I am 500 pounds, Zach. What do you want me to do in a YouTube video? Like I don't get it. Like I know this was
I want you to do cartwheels and juggle. Do it, bitch. You're a clown.
probably a question referring to like back. I get that. I mean, that's like a whole other topic within itself. Like I'm doing the best I can in all
No, you're
areas of my
not.
life right now,
You're really
and
not.
it's just
The problem is that you don't know what the best means. You don't understand what trying means. And trying and succeed, you don't know what trying and succeeding means. And that's the problem, is that you think that trying and failing or trying at all matters when you don't actually put in any effort. But it doesn't. Saying you're going to do something and then not doing it makes everybody hate you because you're a flop and nobody can depend on you. You're the type of person who will say, "Oh, yeah, I'll pick you up tomorrow at 11 a.m." And then you don't show up because you got busy.
I don't know. I know that nothing I do is going to be right, so I have to just do what is right for me. So, how will you stop those behaviors going forward? So, it's hard to answer this question without bringing up the very big elephant in the room. So, I'm going to try my very, very hardest.
Don't
Um,
talk about
so, the
yourself like
behaviors of
that.
like being controlling and controlling of like my partner's time, how I'm going to stop those is I think me living by myself has actually greatly helped with that, just like naturally, like genuinely. I love being alone. I love living by myself. Like,
We
as you guys
know.
know, I don't
We
know if you know
know.
this, but I was in Wisconsin and I chose to come home myself
I
because
chose
I
to came
love living by
back.
myself, like genuinely. And yes, obviously I missed at the time, like I missed Wisconsin and I missed. Don't get me crying. We're gonna start crying about something else. But
Oh.
like I genuinely like I've learned to like love time with
Wait, so
just
you're
me.
not over Emily still? You're still not over Emily? Really?
And like I still have the fear of abandonment. Like it's always going to be there and it's always going to trigger these fucking crazy things, but thankfully with therapy and with practice and with knowledge and with patience and with loving myself and with learning and growing, maturing, all
Oh.
of that, I'm going to be able to not feel
Bear in mind, she said this when she was starting her channel with Crystal. And then she said this with Destiny. She said this with Beck. She said this with Wifey. Wifey's the most supportive person I've ever been with. And then she said it with fucking Erica Valentine. Oh, she really just wants the best for me. We're in a fitness arc, protein girls. And then, and then we got to the Emily era. You guys, this is the softest, gentlest love I've ever had.
feel such a sense of urgency to have my partner near me with me all the freaking time, like obviously. And yeah, stop those behaviors. I'm trying to think of what other behaviors, like talking down to my partner. I think also like that genuinely comes with like maturity. I also was not in like a happy spot back then, and it's like I think
Excuses, excuses. Always excuses.
genuinely like working on myself and my mental health and like learning how to respect people more and just like the whole world does not revolve around Amberlynn Reid, you know, like
Duh.
genuinely like processing all of that. And even since just being with Beck, like those behaviors that I recently have like listed off and named, like I've already improved like just naturally. And I think being with Feline like genuinely helped with that. Like I'm not going to lie about it.
So the person you replaced Beck with, who you said was better than Beck, made you realize that you devalued Beck. I don't know what to do with that. I really don't.
So being with her like greatly helped. And it sucks that like I had to be with like a certain type of person to be able to like help. And like it sucks that like I needed
What do you mean a certain type of person, Amber?
a certain type of diagnosis to understand myself. Like I hate all these like little I's that had to be, you know, dotted and T's that had to be crossed before I could just fucking change. And obviously you can't change overnight. And even like a tiny little
Obviously.
half of a baby step a day is still every day um a step closer to improvement, you know?
You know?
Um sorry, I'm so freaking behind. I'm never gonna catch up. So I need to skip some stuff and I'm sorry about that. Oh, here's a good question. Okay. So why did you make Beck drive you around when they were in renal failure and over medicated? So Beck, I was with Beck for
Well,
almost 3
I
years.
didn't know and they didn't tell me. So I'm not responsible. I couldn't tell that they were zombified. I couldn't tell that they were uninterested in me. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell when we almost got into multiple car accidents within a few days, a few weeks even. Who could say? Who? Who
Beck
could
was over
know?
medicated for 3 months. That is it. It was so they started the medication
That's
towards like
it.
the middle slash
It's
end
only that period. It doesn't matter otherwise. Stop bringing it up.
of October 2019. And then they stopped taking it because finally in December, like I was putting my foot down. I actually have
Ye-
it's on my other phone.
She was putting her foot down about Beck taking medication. Amberlynn was putting her foot down about someone else taking medication in her presence. How dare you take medication? I don't believe in medicine, so you can't believe in medicine.
I have a screenshot of me telling Beck I have an because we had the same psychiatrist. And I was like crying. I was like, I love you so much. I miss you. Like something's wrong and we all care about you.
I
Like,
miss
and I
you
had an
so
appointment with our
much.
psychiatrist.
You're
Like it was
just
a
not the person I used to know. You're just somebody that I used to know.
an appointment for me. And I was like, I'm going to give you that slot because I need you to like you need to be seen. Like
I
we're all
need
worried about
you.
you. Like collectively
I need you to stop being so crazy. You're like being so wild right now. It's almost like I'm imitating a Kardashian.
as like a unit. Like it was me, Eric, Ricky, their family, etc., etc. Like we were so worried. So thankfully, um, it was only
Amber, their family hates you. Shut up and stop mentioning them. They don't like you.
3 months.
Just like Erica and Brittany, keep their names and their entire idea of them out of your mind. Just stop. Just stop.
That Beck was medicated. You can go back, you can look at the videos. It was hard and it was scary. I should have never
How about instead of you demanding that your audience does the work, how about you provide a little bit of evidence since it's your channel? You have access to all of the unedited clips, all of the things. So why don't you show us? Show us. If you have so much proof, you provide it. That's not our job.
ever, ever asked Beck to do anything while they were like that. And I'm sorry for that. I take full responsibility. Um, I should have never asked for anything ever. The renal failure was very,
Nah.
very
See, this is the other thing that a manipulator abuser will do. Well, then I just won't ask you for anything. They turn it on you. Well, you're asking so much of me. Well, then I won't do anything for you and you don't need to ask me. That's exactly what they do. It's like anything to not be the one who's responsible. Anything.
very thankfully short lived because they were on metformin, which is a diabetic medicine. And as soon as like they started taking it, and I think it was like 2 weeks in, they had to get blood work again. And that's when they saw it. And
Swall.
so
They
like immediately
swall
they're
it.
like, you can't take this anymore. So it was very quick, thankfully, because that was also very, very worrisome. And in those like sections of time, I should have never ever asked for anything. And I can say that hands down that I'm sorry and I take a full accountability for that. Should have never done that.
Aw.
Please know you
What a
deserve better than this and never
considerate
feel like you owe
squirrel.
anyone access to your private experiences, words, or thoughts. Love to you. Thank you so much, Lex. Um,
Lex. Wait, what? Lex. Huh?
they are so perfect, Amber. No skeletons in their closet. It's all you in the Catholic school they went to. That's why they're struggling.
What?
Yeah, no one's perfect.
Bruh, seriously? It's the Catholic school they went to that's the problem. No, these people are fucking insane. Like this is why she makes so much money because there's actually so many people that think just like her and they enable it. They want to see other people like them succeed because it revalidates themselves. It's disgusting.
I will say that. You need real friends for the first time in your life. Darlin,
This
how
is
about you
fucking
DM me?
sick.
I'm joking, not me looking for friends online. No, I do have some really good friends, honestly. Um, you said that you can do
AKA
everything
not you
100% can. Has
people.
that changed then? Um, every single thing that a normal person, okay, well, I mean, there's a lot of things I can't do. Let's be real. Can't skydive. A lot of roller coasters I probably can't go on, etc., etc. Like the list can go on. But like normal everyday activities, I can do every single one of them.
Can you walk in a park for 5 hours? Can you go hiking in the redwoods like you did as a kid? No, you can't. Can you go river rafting? No. You could float. You could definitely float down the rapids. I don't think that you would go down. You have so much buoyancy.
By myself without any help, but everything is hard. Harder than it should be. But it's like I'm used to it, so it's like my normal, if that makes sense. Um, admit you're okay with being with. Oh my god, I'm not gonna talk about that. You don't need to prove
Oh,
yourself to
you're
the
not going
audience.
to
Just
talk
know
about
his own
Emily?
posse.
You're not going to
Haters
talk
hurt
about your
themselves painting you to
girl?
make them feel better about their sad life. Yeah, it's a lot. Like Snowflake like cheats on his wife and like that's okay. I don't know.
What
It's
the
just a lot.
fuck, Amber? What the fuck? You should not be talking about anybody's relationship and cheating with a married person. You, of anyone in the world, should not be talking because you have a pattern of cheating on your partners by talking to new people with the intention of meeting them. You have the utter disrespect for flirting with other people in front of your partners, and you get utterly jealous whenever somebody talks to your partner if they're of the gender that they're attracted to. You are an insecure little bitch.
Amber, thank you for speaking your truth. Please stay strong. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that so much, like genuinely. And I'm noticing like I'm getting a lot of support. I know there's a lot of people who are like, girl, what?
I'm
Okay.
noticing
All right, let's
a
see.
lot of people love me.
Oh God, I have a lot of notes, but like
Oh
what really
God.
matters, you know? What really matters? Let me just take off some of these things that I've talked about in passing. So if you guys want to give me a second, sorry. Um okay, so it seems like I've talked about a lot. Okay, so we're gonna take this off as well. I hope you guys are having a good night, by the way. Or morning. I don't know where you guys live. You know what I'm saying? It could be morning where you are. Um oh, okay, so I do want to point this out as well. So Beck said in a I'm pretty sure it was their live last night. Yeah, it was. They were reacting to Salty Crab. I finally know who that is. Hello, Salty Crab. So
I finally know who that is. You're such a disrespectful bitch.
I said in my members live stream that Beck and I were friends for a year after we broke up, and that Beck did not want me telling anyone, obviously, because of backlash. And so then Salty Crab literally said that in their video, and Beck was reacting, and Beck was like, "That never happened. We were not friends at all. I never said that. Never said that." So I have a screenshot of that being true. So I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna show it. So it was April 17th, 2022, which is almost a year after we broke up. um, I sent Beck, I'm literally
It's
getting the
almost
laugh
like
that
I'm
people think I
controlling as a motherfucker.
lied about us still being friends. Why can't I just tell them I wasn't lying?
So why do you have all of this stuff, but then you didn't have any of the stuff from uh FBI Frank? Did they ever show you the photo? Did you ever meet them in person? Because that's the only way you would see a photo of a suspect.
This sucks so bad. And Beck said, it's best no. As sad as it is, that would kill my channel. I do not want them knowing because they'll just make it an even bigger, more messy thing. I'm going to address that I saw you and have the rings, but we don't hang out, dude. That's just how it has to be. That's what they have to know because YouTube is my only income and I'm only getting $200. And at the time, Beck was saying that they had a job, even though they didn't. And I said, but what about the backlash I'm getting
Ma'am, you need to get a fucking job. People need to stop giving you free money because you're just a fucking leech.
for lying, even though I'm not lying? And Beck said, if this comes out, it would be even less. Talking about money. And I'm like, I'm literally choosing you over myself. And that was that. So I stayed with the lie. It's not irrelevant when Beck
Stayed
literally
with
said
the
last night
lie.
it's not true.
I was protecting Beck.
What is happening? I feel like I'm actually, I thought I was going to be crying more than laughing. Ugh. And then this is where they said that they lost their job and YouTube didn't know about it. You guys thought that they still was working.
And why do you think this is tea? This is exactly like you talking about Destiny's dad and her brother. This is exactly like that because you're a fucking see you next Tuesday.
Sorry, I am a boomer. Look at all those tabs I have.
And she's laughing because she thinks that it's funny. She really does enjoy this. She thinks that she's a good person and everybody else is just trifling little hoes. Amberlynn is the special queen of the world and you need to respect her.
So I literally just read it to you, so it's like common sense of what it says. But it's like people it's funny because like I'm literally like, okay, so something that Beck said straight up was a lie. What Beck said last night was a lie. And like I'm also showing that like Beck has urged me to lie repeatedly to my audience, and I would do it to
Amberlynn, Amberlynn, because somebody asks you to protect some privacy for them so that they don't have their entire life that's offline, online, you are a piece of shit, and your neck is looking uneven. Look at this. The choker is not round in a circle or even an oval. It's lopsided. You might want to get that checked.
to protect them. It is what it is. I don't know. Yes, I was on FaceTime.
Because I don't think it's
I
the
told you guys I have
fucking
friends, silly.
choker. I think it's her neck.
Beck already admitted that though. No, no. Watch the livestream from
Yes,
last night.
yes. Maybe you need to get your facts straight, Amber.
They literally said, I wasn't friends with them. I wasn't friends with Amberlynn. That's not true. I never said that. That's what they said. At
That's
this
what
point,
they
y'all both
said.
messy.
Why are you so obsessed with Beck? Really, though.
At this point, y'all both messy. I'm very messy. I'm literally messy. I was toxic. Like, it wasn't
No,
good.
you said was. They said you are.
At all. But like, people are genuinely so committed to like
Genuinely?
me being the bad guy that
Legally?
like they will not see any like wrongdoing in Beck. Like it is so weird to me. I don't
It's so weird to me that I can't have my way. It's so weird to me that this is. She looks like. Amberlynn looks like Foodie Beauty here. Like Cuba Rage Foodie Beauty. So upset people are not buying her and just totally supporting her. She's pissed. She's really pissed that people don't like her more than Beck. That's what it is.
I don't want you guys to think that they're a bad person
That's
because
all it
that's
is.
not my motive because they're not. But
That's not what it is, and that's why I'm super excessively blinking when I'm saying that,
like
because I'm not totally trying to hide my true feelings.
I accountability needs to go around everywhere.
Hmm. She says accountability needs to go everywhere except for her. She still has not said specific things that were abusive that she owns up to without saying, well, Beck did this too. Well, there's a reason why. Well, you know, my whole mentality at that point was excusing it. Okay. And, and to any of those statements and to all of those statements combined, it's not an excuse. It's nothing.
Oh no, we see it. Beck literally wiped you. See, this is like that. This is like that moment where I was like, where I almost, literally, almost slipped, and I was like, you know what I did? You know what I did for them? But I can't. I would never.
Tell us. Tell us. If you really want to be such a shady little cunt, then you need to tell us. Because otherwise, you just seem like you want to seem better, but you don't have anything to say and to show. That's the only thing. And it makes you look even worse.
So also part of the live stream last night from Beck, they were literally laughing at me, but that's fine. Um, I
Aww.
quoted it. So, um, they were like, "Oh, there's something."
Nobody ever is allowed to laugh at Amber. Oh my God. She is exactly like some people that I know, where they can't even laugh at themselves. And since they can't laugh at themselves, you can't laugh at them.
Something else I want to talk to you guys about. Giggle, giggle. This is good. I'll have to save it for later though. That's what they said in the live stream. And then they also added on, it's stuff that I'm holding on to just in case. Laugh, laugh, laugh. So I just wanted to, I'll just do it. I'll save Beck the trouble, and I'll do it. So Beck wants to talk about a time that I had bed bugs. Not me laughing too. It's actually genuinely kind of funny. So
No, it's
when I
not.
was with Destiny and we were the townhomes, after me and Destiny broke up, I moved my bed. Like you can go back and like watch all these vlogs. I feel like I've documented so many things. Um, I moved my bed up against. Do you guys know like the little cable, the little like cable thing? Like how there's like holes through it or whatever. Um, I was getting okay. So how we found out I had bed bugs, they wouldn't touch me. They never bit me, not one time. But Beck, when we first started dating, they would come over and they would always leave with like little bites on them.
Why does she seem proud like that? Like, this is sick. Why is she proud? They never bit me. Maybe they could sense that they would die if they touched you. If they even tried to creep into a crevice, it would just be the end of their entire species. It would be an endless plague upon their lives, never again to see the light of day.
And I'm like, what is happening? So one day I searched my whole bed and I couldn't find anything. I'm like itching thinking about it because since then I have not. So I could not find anything. And then I go over because I just moved my bed, right? Oh, I'm itching. I go over and I look by the cable hole and there's bed bugs coming. They're coming through the cable hole and going onto the mattress because I'm not like, even Destiny knows this and Beck knows this, but the neighbor next to me, they had cockroaches, they had bed bugs. Like that's how I got Rarity because they threw a bunch of kittens outside in a storm, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening right
Yeah, just like you threw away multiple kittens, like Jax, you threw away your kitten, what was her name? Scarlet. You also managed to toss out Destiny's cat of over a decade, Gracie. And then you lost Rarity, the one you're talking about. Why? Oh, and she said she was never going to bring up Rarity ever again. So you broke that rule too.
now. But
Amberlynn doesn't respect her own boundaries.
yeah, so that was like a situation that happened that I was literally like my jaw was on the floor, like I was freaking out. It was really not. It was not good. Um, Alyssa, I don't think you've been here the whole time, honey. Y'all acting like you ain't never had lice. I had lice so bad when I was in kindergarten. They sent me home like 9 million times.
I've
Like,
never had lice. I've never had lice ever.
yeah. Lindsay, you must not have watched the whole thing, honey buns. Um, it was literally, oh my God, Wayne, that's hectic. Your roach. It was an earwig. Lice isn't the same as bed bugs at all. Ew, someone just said I need your cooter.
Ew.
Okay, sorry, I just had to share that because I was like,
You had to
I'll just
share
share
your
it.
cooter?
Okay. Um, ooh. A lot of people like were like, you guys never even had sex. I don't know who said that, but me and Beck definitely had sex, like in the beginning, especially.
You're the one.
And then
You said that you guys were not intimate. You said that before.
once I started having my cancer symptoms,
You said
the sex
that.
obviously stopped. But then,
Is this bitch like literally having an aphasia right now?
it was 2 months before they broke up with me. We did the deed. So that's what couples do, folks.
We did the deed.
It's because a lot of people are like, you guys
We're
didn't even have like sex.
teenagers.
They were just your caregiver. Like that's not how it was at all. Um, no one asked. A lot of people actually talk about it. You wouldn't even believe. You probably forced her
It's
to.
so funny because for somebody who's so obsessed with what people perceive her to be, she's so ignorant about how she's comes off, about how she acts and how it is and how that translates to how people treat you afterward. She's clueless. Utterly
No,
clueless.
Noella, this reminds me
Utterly.
also. Thank you. You
Word
guys
of the
keep sparking
day.
stuff in my brain. So, I guess Beck said how they were never actually in love with me and they never actually loved me. I did not watch the Casey live stream. I physically can't. I don't want anything to
Beck said that they didn't initially love you, but they grew to have feelings for you. If you weren't such an ignorant bitch, you would understand nuance.
do with Casey at all in any sort of fucking no. So
Yeah.
I guess in that live stream, because trust me, people have been contacting me. Um, so
Trust her.
when I'm the type of person that I will not have sex with someone unless we're in a relationship. I will not have sex with you unless I love you or I feel that
But I will require that you send me nudes, even if you're a minor.
feeling
AKA, Amberlynn is a predator. A predator.
of falling in love with you.
Help save lives. Donate plasma today. CSL Plasma. Do the amazing.
Visit govx.com and join a community of patriots and pros. You've earned it. GovX, savings for those who serve.
Like I can't find you like super like I can look at someone and be like, damn, they're attractive. Damn. But I like
Dalton.
literally can't look at someone and be like, oh, I want to have sex with you unless I literally love you or unless I'm
You love Dalton? Dalton, you're the one. You're the one
in a
for
relationship
her.
with you. I can do phone sex here and there, stupid things like that. But like physical intimacy, not gonna happen. So it was April. So Beck first messaged me February 21st, and it was April. It was the second time I've ever met Beck in person. Dalton was a phone sex. I just explained that, and I was so drunk. I think I had like 8 buzzballs. So anyways, um,
8 buzzballs. How were you awake? How? Okay, this is her alcoholism speaking, and I'm going to call it that because that's what that is. She has an unhealthy reliance on alcohol. And yet she claims that she quit drinking. I think she just quit drinking on camera. I think that's all it is. Or she's leaning into the Delta.
so Yeah, it was April 10th or 9th or something like that. So it was the second time I ever met Beck in person, and they were staying the night with me, and we were making out on my bed,
Ew.
and they were trying to go further than that. And I literally told them right then and there, I had to be
Beck was trying to take advantage of me, just like Dalton. Everybody takes advantage of me. I'm just victimlin.
like
I'm
nice
victimlin.
about it. I was like, I can't do this unless like I'm actually in a relationship with someone. That's just like how it's always been for me. Like when it comes to physical in-person intimacy, I don't know what it is. That's just how it's always been. Obviously not when I was in high school. Like when I was in high school,
Amberlynn loves to hide behind language as a shield, but you can say, "Oh, I only have sex with people that I'm in a relationship with," as a way to pressure Beck to propose being in a relationship to you. That is literally a way to pressure somebody. If you are the one leading into the relationship or into that situation, and then you're like, no, but we can't unless you say that we're going to be together, and then we can go further. Because that's Amber's MO, is setting a arbitrary boundary so that you have to cross it or ask her permission, so then she is in power. That is her whole MO, just to be clear.
it was different. Um, so anyways, uh it was not an hour later. That was when Beck asked me to be their girlfriend. And it's like I look back now and I'm like,
Beck
I
was
don't understand the situation.
manipulating
How did
me.
I force them to ask? I literally just said like I don't feel comfortable being intimate to that like degree unless like I'm in a like Beck could have said yeah I understand and we could have just like moved on. I don't know. It's just like weird. The choker cheese isn't real, obviously. And someone said she really thinks we're that stupid, huh? This is literally actually a conversation that we've done in like either a vlog or like a live stream or something. So, did you tell Beck they were your employee? I've never said that unless it was during our live stream era because Beck was obviously like
I've
getting some
never
of that money,
said
but I've
that
never like
unless
during a vlog.
it means she said it before then too, or at least she intimated it. It's definitely what she did, because she wouldn't be like, "Oh no, I never," except for this one time, because you wouldn't have started off by saying "I never." You would have said, "Oh, I only did that then." You wouldn't say never.
Been like, oh, you're my employee.
She starts off from a position of defensive.
That never happened. Did you force Beck into a relationship? Absolutely not. You can't force someone into a relationship.
You could. And then she takes a sip of water, like she made a real point. Amberlynn, you can coerce somebody into doing things for you because they feel sorry. Beck, okay, let's start here. Beck said when they first came across Amberlynn's page and or her channel and thought, "Oh, I should talk to her." It was because she was getting so many comments and she was complaining, threatening, insinuating that she was going to disappear from this life. And Beck felt like it was an imminent threat, like a real threat. And they didn't want to see it happen because they had experienced depressive thoughts as well. So, Amberlynn, you're starting from a position of manipulation, and only from there are you blossoming your little tree of evil. Evil.
Maybe you forgot. You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Then you don't get
Where
to
did you go
claim
at?
they are lying if you don't remember.
Would you do a live with Chantel? Yeah, why not? Everyone deserves a chance to grow. Oh, thank you, Orange. Oh my god, I cannot believe that you're here. Hi. How pissed was your mama's wife when she found you flirting with him in the DMs?
Lol.
I've never flirted with your mom in the DMs. I don't even know how to contact him. I have never talked to him privately, ever. Ever. So, what? Walk to the tree. You didn't say what happened to the 6K. All you said was you shared a bank account. The 6K
Yeah.
just went into the bank account.
And
I don't know.
I don't know. If you had a slush fund, you had a fund that never ran dry. That means that $6,000 was always in there, Amber. That's how that works. That's what we're talking about. And that's the manipulation of language that I'm talking about. That she acts dumb, like we don't understand what she's talking about. You have an account, you technically have all of your money going into there you want to claim. And then that well never runs dry. Beck never said, "I'm spending this $6,000 that I got as an inheritance specifically on this date. Like, that's the crazy thing, that she thinks that that's just like, oh, that's part of the fund, the mutual fund of Amberlynn.
It went into the bank account. There was nothing was ever like done with it. It was just like collected within all the other money.
Then what happened to it?
But I remember Beck recently saying like they wanted to do things for their mother with that money, and I don't understand. Like they got tattoos, went to the cabin, and we would buy cute little
Bitch.
gifts to put next to the headstone and like things like that. Like it didn't
You
have to
claimed that you paid for that. You claimed that you paid for that. So did you not pay for that? You can't claim to pay for that and then say, well, they used their money for it. Like, you don't get it both ways.
Hey, no, but like they were free to do whatever they wanted. That's the part that's like just really confusing to me. What type of traits do you want to have as a person, and is it possible for you to become that person while engaging in this community and toxicity? So to answer the second part, no. What type of
Then
traits do you want
why
to have as a
don't you
person?
go away? Then why don't you go away? Because she won't. She can't make any living. She can't make any meaningful amount of money with her level of skills. She has no skills. She's less skilled than somebody who's coming out of high school.
I want to be empathetic. I want to be a good person, like behind the scenes. Like a lot of people are like, um, you're not a good person if like you give something to the homeless or you give money to the homeless or you donate to
What?
charity and you have to tell everyone. Like very that person.
Oh,
Um,
well, if you need the attention, yeah, you're not a good person. You're just like any rich person who just does it for a tax write-off, except you don't even really get the tax write-off because I bet she doesn't file it.
which thankfully I am, but I want to be like overall all around good, but I know that like that's not like there's going to be a little bit of bad in everyone, and that's just like genuinely like the realism
Girl.
of it all. But
See,
like I want
starting from a point of, well, I'm already going to be bad, so I can't just mitigate everything. So you just need to accept me. Whenever I have a failing, just accept it. Just accept it. Don't say anything. Just accept it silently.
to like regulate my emotions better, and I want to be more like spiritual and like connected to the universe, and I want to be more mature and more confident. Regulating my emotions is like the biggest one for me, truly, because I just feel like I have such a hard time doing that. Obviously, duh,
It's
me
funny
too,
because
but
she doesn't realize she
um,
just needs to get therapy and actually probably get an education. I think it would help.
there's a lot of other things I can ramble on forever. Tell the truth about Gracie. I have a million times before,
I
and so has
have.
Destiny. There's nothing more I can actually say that. How about go to an actual therapist? I do. Um, I thought you paid for the cabin. Yeah, it came out of the the little pictures of
Exactly. People catching her in her motherfucking lie. Ew. Ew. I'm gonna block this out because that's disgusting. But caught her in her fucking lie. She claimed to pay for it, but then she's saying, oh no, Beck paid for it out of their $6,000. Which is it? Which is it? You can't claim that you paid for it, but you used Beck's money. Fuck you.
little bank account that we had. Like
Fuck you.
all of that money is together, like in one.
Fuck you.
Like we shared all of the money. What was mine was theirs. That was the way that I always viewed it.
I think we're gonna cut it here. If you like this reaction, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a croissant because Amberlynn is baked and she is done for. Later.